Hi yogis, welcome. My name is Carly Pearl, and today's practice is a slow vinyasa, and the theme for practice is on separating the thoughts from the mind and separating the thoughts from ourselves. So I'll kind of explain what that means more in depth as we get moving in our meditation, our moving meditation. And we're going to get started in a seat today. We're going to use two props if you have them. If you don't, no biggie. But the first is a block, which will be helpful towards the top of your mat. You can also start practice seated on this block to lift the pelvis and find a little bit more space in the hips if they're feeling tight. And also we will be using a strap towards the beginning of practice and mid-practice. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt, a scarf, or even a towel. So if you'd like, you can pause me and grab your props, and I will meet you in a seated position. So just take a moment to really feel rooted through your sits bones. Hands are rested softly on your lap. Your palms can be turned down or turned open. The idea of turning them down is if you need a little bit more grounding energy. And if you're feeling a little lethargic or low energy, turn the palms open for more energy or insight or inspiration. And softly close your eyes. Tune in to the slow, rhythmic pattern of your breath. There is a quote from Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, and he states that there is the you and the not you. You are not your thoughts. The invitation for practice today is to take a step back from your mind and all the thinking it does, and to recognize that you are not those thoughts. You are the silent indweller, observer, or witness to those thoughts. And in Tibetan Buddhism, the analogy that's used is the sky and the clouds. So the idea is to cultivate more of the expansive sky, that is your mind, and let go of the limited clouds. Those clouds will always be drifting into your sky and drifting out of your sky. But the practice is to observe them as they come in, without judgment or criticism, and simply let them float away, without attaching to them or getting lost in that distraction. Our thoughts truly can be a distraction from the present moment. And this is ultimately the greater practice of yoga, is to still the fluctuations of the mind, to achieve ultimate oneness with the divine. Those fluctuations are part of our human nature. But it's important that we recognize that they do not define us. They are not who we are. We are much more expansive. Our consciousness is infinite. So we'll come back to this practice as we start moving our bodies and deepening our breaths. Let's start with the breath. Take a full, rich inhale through the nose, breathing all the way down into your low belly. Big audible exhale through the mouth, sighing it out. Twice more, full, rich breath in. expanding the rib cage through both directions, forward and backwards. Exhale audibly through the mouth. And one more time, inhale deeply. Breathing all the way down, this time into the pelvic floor. From the pelvic floor, exhale, let it go. Out the mouth, emptying completely. Now seal the lips. Keep the depth of those breath cycles, but breathe in and out through your nose. Every inhale, grow a little taller through your spine and wider through your rib cage. Every exhale, feel yourself grounded and centered in this present moment. The clouds of your sky simply floating in and floating out. Softly open your eyes and please grab your strap or whatever prop you're using. If you do have a strap and it has a buckle, with one hand hold on to the buckle, and then with the other hand go nice and wide, so outer shoulder width distance, and pull the strap apart with both arms so it's taut. Draw the upper arms back into your shoulder sockets, and as you inhale, lift the strap over your crown. Exhale, bring the strap just behind you, opening up the pecs and the deltoids, big opening through the chest. Inhale, the strap comes overhead. Exhale, lower it down in front of you. Keep pulling it apart with both arms. And again, inhale, bringing it over the crown. And exhale, behind the back. Again, inhale, bring it overhead. And exhale, bring it down. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. And this time, bring it overhead. Again, feel grounded through the sits bones. And you're going to bring the strap over to the right. Notice if some of the weight from the left sit bone lifted. See if you can really ground down through that left sit bone and hip as you reach the strap to the right. Low belly engaged. Breath is still slow and steady. And then on an inhale, take it all the way back up, lengthening the spine. Exhale, ground down, especially through the right sitting bone as you bring the strap to the left. Feel that stretch from the right hip all the way up into the right armpit. Pressing the strap to the left. Pull the navel in, take another deep breath. And come on all the way up, inhale. One more time behind the back, exhale. This time, see how far back you can bring it. Notice how that changes the sensation in the shoulders and chest. And take it all the way back up slowly on an inhale. And bring it all the way down, exhale. And just set that off to the side towards the top of your mat. You might want it later. And pause for a moment, hands back to the lap. Notice if there's warmth or a tingling sensation in the upper chest and shoulders. And keeping the eyes closed, invite some movement into the shoulder girdles. So maybe moving them both simultaneously in the same direction, or moving them in opposite direction. Moving in a way that feels intuitive and good in your body. All right, and then softly open the eyes, and please make your way to your hands and knees, tabletop position. You can set your block towards the top of your mat or whatever prop you're using. Shoulders come over the wrists, hips over the knees. Fingers are spread wide, finding a lot of surface area for your foundation in your tabletop. Extend your right leg straight back so you're grounded on the ball of your right foot. Drop the right frontal hip bone slightly, leveling the pelvis. And then just press back through the right heel, feeling that stretch into your calf. And then shift forward a little bit, releasing. And then again, pressing back, contracting the muscle. And releasing it. And one more time, press back, sustain the stretch. And then soften. From here, turn your left shin bone out at a 45-degree angle. Spin the right heel down and reach the right arm high over the left. Draw the right hip over the left, low belly pulled in. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, elevate your right leg hip height. Your ankle is flexed. You're still pressing back through your heel. Feel the length from your heel all the way to your crown, reaching the body long through both directions. From here, give a bend to your right knee, reach back. Grab the foot from the pinky edge side and slowly start to kick your foot and your shin straight back behind your thigh. Rather than up towards the sky, you're keeping your shin in line with your femur bone. Gaze might move upwards, or perhaps you draw the head back in line with the spine, bringing the crown closer towards the foot. Breathe into the chest, into the front ribs. And then very gently release, re-extending your leg and arm, and bring your right arm overhead this time. So we just opened the front body. Let's open the back body now. Take a big breath in, press out through heel and fingertips. As you breathe out, contract the abdominals. Bring your elbow towards your knee. Low belly engaged. Inhale, re-extend, reaching out through your limbs. Exhale, contract the abdominals. Navel draws in, elbow towards knee. One more, inhale, re-extend. Exhale, contract. So good, re-extend for a breath in. And then slowly lower the right foot down, right hand down, come back to your tabletop position. And let's take 3 cat-cows. Inhale, sway the spine forward, expand the ribs, lift the chest. Exhale, contract the abdominals, press the earth away, chin to chest, tailbone down. 2 more, inhale. Elbow creases, sway forward. Exhale, lift the back of the heart. And 1 more, inhale. And exhale. From here, come back to a neutral position and we'll switch sides. Extend your left leg straight back behind you, grounding down through the ball of the left foot. And then really press back through the heel, feeling the stretch and the length in your calf muscle. And then shift a little bit forward, releasing the calf. And again, press back, sustain the stretch. Keep that left frontal hip bone down a bit. It has a tendency to hike up. And then shift forward a bit. And 1 more time, pressing back. Arms are strong, root down through the hands. And then soften. From here, turn the right shin out 45 degrees. Ground down through the right hand. Spin the left heel down as you extend, left arm over right. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, left leg elevates up, in line with the hip. Breath is smooth and steady. From here, give a bend to your left knee, reach back with your left hand, grab a hold of your foot from the pinky edge side, and slowly find the back bend that feels good in your body, nothing forceful. You're kicking your foot back into your hand, creating a bow shape in your spine. And again, your gaze might move upwards, or perhaps you bring the head back, creating a back bend in the cervical spine as well. And with grace, release, re-extending the leg and arm. Left arm comes overhead, inhale. Exhale, counter pose. We contract the front body now. Bring the elbow to the kneecap just in front of the torso and hip. Inhale, re-extend your leg and arm really long, reaching out through fingers and heel. Exhale, contract the abs, pull the elbow in towards the knee. And one more. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, hug in. Great work. Inhale to re-extend. And slowly lower your hand and your knee back down, aligning the shins, back to tabletop position. This time, let's take some hip circles. So let's bring the hands a little bit more forward than having the shoulders over the wrists, and the knees a little bit wider than the hips. And just start to move the hips, maybe starting in small circles and gradually creating larger circles. Maybe some figure eights are fun. Reconnecting to the breath and the sensations in the body. All right, from here, come back to tabletop. Curl the toes underneath you. Inhale, engage the abs, root down through the arms. Exhale, slowly begin to hover the knees and lift the hips slowly, moving really mindfully with control. Slowly pressing the hips high, reaching the chest back towards the legs into your first downward facing dog. Fingers and toes are spreading. From here, give a deep bend into your right knee and drive your left heel in towards the earth. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, switch. Deeply bend your left knee. Reach down through the right heel. Hold for a full inhale. And exhale to switch. Bending the right knee deeply. Inhale, really pressing down through the heel, feeling the length into the left hamstring and calf. And then exhale, switch. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Coming out, bending both knees softly. Spin the triceps under the upper arms. And notice if you're really sinking the chest down. See if you can draw the sternum in towards the spine. And lift the kidneys slightly away from the thighs. Let's take one more full breath cycle here. And then gently ripple forward into plank pose. You'll probably need to walk the feet back a bit so that the shoulders are over the wrists or slightly behind the wrists. Engage your quadriceps. Spiral your inner thighs up towards the sky. And as you draw your heart forward, press back through your heels. As you lift your pubic bone towards your navel, lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. One more breath in. Such good work, you guys. And then from here, set the knees down, slowly bend the elbows and come down to your belly. From here, hands slide back just an inch or two, mid-rib cage. Feet can be hips width distance for more space in the low back. Keep the quads engaged, ground down through the tops of the feet. Inhale, baby cobra, Bujangasana. Shoulder heads roll away from the chest. Elbows hug in. Gaze is soft off of the tip of the nose. There's no strain in the neck. Inhale, peel up a little bit higher. Exhale, lower chest and head, relax the legs. Let's do that 3 times, movement to breath. Engage the legs, the glutes, the core. Inhale, peel up. And on the exhale, lower down. Inhale, shoulder heads roll away, squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Exhale, soften. Forehead touches. And one more time, inhale to peel up. And exhale to descend. Inhale, press all the way up through hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Great work. Take a deep breath in. And if it feels good, sigh out. One more full inhale. Audible exhale or sigh, your choice. From here, give a bend to the knees. You can walk, you can step, or maybe hop. Top of the mat, feet come hips width distance. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, hands slide up the shins, or you can stay on fingertips. And we'll pause here for a few breaths. Sometimes we shift the hips really far forward. See if you can feel for your body in space, the hips over the ankles. Quads are engaged. And the spine is lengthening, it's an extension. The shoulders are down the back, away from the ears, and there's a slight tuck of the chin in towards the chest. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bend the knees deeply and round the spine into forward flexion, Uttanasana, forward fold. It might feel nice to shake out the head a little, right and left. Releasing tension in the neck. And allow your shoulders, elbows, and fingers to be soft. Please give a deeper bend to your knees and begin to curl up one vertebra at a time. There's no rush. Move slowly with awareness. And once the chest is lifted, take a big shoulder roll. Shoulders come up by the ears and then draw them down and back. Turn the palms forward. Close the eyes. Notice if there are clouds scattering your expansive sky. Simply notice as the observer, as the witness, and watch them drift away. Inhale, big reach of the arms high overhead. As you exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand. Give a little pull of your wrist upward as you bring the hips to the left and the torso and arms to the right into a lateral bend. Notice if the weight shifted more into the left foot. Can you ground down evenly through both feet? Torso comes slightly forward of the hips. Neck is relaxed. One more deep breath. And take it all the way back up. Inhale. Switch the grip. Exhale as you pull and then take it into a lateral bend. Hips lean to the right. Torso and arms to the left as you keep the core engaged and the spine comes a little bit forward of the pelvis. One more breath here. Take it all the way up on an inhale. Release the grip of the wrist. Exhale, Prana Mudra, elbows go wide. Keep the quads and glutes firm as you press the hips forward and open the chest. Elbows reach out wide. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly come out of the back bend, bend the knees, bring the hands to the heart and slowly fold forward, Uttanasana. Bow the head at the bottom. Inhale as you lengthen your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, step one foot back, way back, and then the other foot back into plank pose. Your choice to move through a chaturanga or to go down to your belly to Cobra pose like we did in the first sequence. So you can lower down halfway if you choose chaturanga or all the way. Cobra or upward facing dog on the inhale, your back bend of choice. If you're in up dog, the quads are lifted, the shoulders draw down the back. And as you exhale, core stays firm, lift the hips and ground down through the feet, stretching the heels down, returning to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, please raise your right leg up, three-legged down dog. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip up into a scorpion dog. Notice if that right shoulder head is drawing away from your mat. Try and keep the chest level and you're just opening the right hip. Take another full breath in. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your nose and round your spine like cat pose. Then look forward, inhale. Lift the hips and step your foot through. Exhale. Set your left knee down and untuck your toes. Rise all the way up. Inhale. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, ground yourself through your foot and your shin. Feel rooted and connected to the earth. Hands together in front of the heart, please. Lift your sternum to your thumbs. Inhale. Shift forward, and as you exhale, twist to your right. Hooking your left elbow over your right knee. And keep drawing the elbows wide. So see if that right elbow might be drawing down towards the ribs. Lift it up over the right wrist. If you'd like a little bit more heat in this pose, curl the left toes underneath you. Keep pulling up Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor body lock, scissoring the inner thighs, and then you might lift the left leg up, extending, pressing back through the heel. Gaze will begin to lift over the right shoulder. And this is a great detoxifying pose, building a lot of heat, increasing our stamina, our strength, our power. If your back knee is down, please lift it up. Join me here. And we are going to unravel, keeping the torso forward, hinging at this 45-degree angle. Hands together in front of heart still. So we're going to shift into one-legged Tadasana. The left foot will not touch the mat unless you lose your balance, which is okay. So shift the weight into the right foot, draw the left knee to meet the right, and then come all the way up to stand. Left knee comes up hip height, left ankle is flexed. Take a moment. Now find your foundation through the right foot. And you're going to open the left hip up. You can bring your left hand to your shin or your foot as you come into tree pose. So the sole of your left foot can come to your inner thigh, or you can bring it down to your inner calf or to your inner ankle. Regulate the breath. Option to grow the branches of your tree, expanding the arms upward. Notice if there are thoughts filling your mind, distractions, annoyances, joy, pleasure. Whatever is with you, simply be a witness. And remind yourself that you are not those thoughts. You are the expansive sky that observes those thoughts or those clouds. Hands come back together in front of heart. Draw the left knee forward. Release the left foot from the right leg. We're going to land in that hovering crescent lunge. So hinge at the hips slowly. Take your time as you land on the ball of the back foot. Engage your abdominals. And then lower the hands down on an inhale. Exhale, step back to plank. Your choice to move through a vinyasa, high to low plank, or you can set the knees down and move to Cobra pose, or right back to down dog. Chaturanga lower halfway, Cobra or up dog, inhale, and downward facing dog, exhale. Great work. Let's take a big breath in and release some heat, exhale. Second side, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip up. Again, check in with the chest and shoulders. Notice if the left shoulder is peeling away from the mat. And try to level the chest. And feel that great stretch into your left hip flexor. One more big breath in. Exhale, contract. Bring your knee towards your nose. Round your spine. Dome the upper back. Pull the belly in and up. Inhale here. Look forward. Exhale, lift the hips. Step the left foot through. And the right knee comes down. Untuck the toes. Inhale as you rise. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Hands together in front of heart, please. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Lift the heart towards the hands. Exhale, shift forward and twist, hooking the right elbow to the outer left knee. Again, you're bringing the left elbow up over the left wrist. Move the left hip crease back so you feel length in the left waist. With every inhale, see how much space you can create in your torso. And as you exhale, use the hands, the pressure against the hands, as a little bit of leverage to gradually deepen the twist. With every exhale, wringing it out, massaging the internal organs. Option to curl the right toes and lift the right knee up if you did so on the first side. Keep that right quad really strong. Press back through the right heel. You got it. Breathe deeply. And if your back knee is still down, please lift it up. And we're slowly going to unwind and stay hovering in this crescent lunge. And again, that right foot ideally doesn't touch the mat. Keep shifting the weight into your left foot. Bring the right knee to meet the left, and then rise up. Right thigh comes up parallel to the earth. And then start to open the right hip up. You can use the right hand to find your tree pose. Bringing the sole of your foot anywhere along the inner left leg, except the inner knee. We want to protect the ligaments in the knee. Returning to the present moment with awareness on the breath and on the sensations. Option to expand the arms upward. One more full breath here. Hands come together in front of the heart. Draw the right knee forward, release the foot from the thigh. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, begin to extend the right leg back. Bend the left knee, carefully land in your hovering crescent lunge. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step to plank. Your choice, chaturanga or not. You can always take the knees in chaturanga, and you can always take cobra instead of up dog. There are always options, modifications, and variations, so listen to your body, please. Full breath in here. Beautiful breath out. One more inhale. And sigh it out. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. You can walk again, step or hop. Feet hips width. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Bend the knees really deeply. Sink the hips low. Reach the torso and arms up. Chair pose, Uttanasana. Weight is in the heels. Shin bones press back so you can see your cute toes under your kneecaps. Sink the hips down a little bit deeper. Inhale here. Exhale, interlace the hands behind the low back. Draw the knuckles down, lift the heart high, breathe in. Exhale, fold your belly to your thighs, lift your hips, let your head hang heavy. Releasing the weight of your 8 to 10 pound head, feeling a release in the cervical spine. Squeeze the palms, maybe the knuckles come away from the low back. Thumbs come to the low back now, and fingertips release all the way down. Inhale to lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step back into plank pose, moving through another vinyasa, or back to down dog. If you're feeling fatigued, or just not feeling those chaturangas, give yourself permission to skip them. There's no need to push our bodies beyond our limits or beyond our energetic capacity for this moment. One more little flow, then we're gonna start to cool down. Inhale, left leg, oops, just kidding, right leg high. I'm gonna mirror you, it's my left. Exhale, step it all the way through. Spin the left heel down, windmill open, warrior two. Come into a nice long stance now in your warrior two. Energetically draw the feet together mid-mat. Lift up from the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. Belly in, arms reach out wide. And we're gonna take it into a variation. So the right arm comes up. Internally rotate the right arm, turning the palm back, and give yourself a little pat on the back. Same with the left arm, internally rotate, keeping it wide. Draw it down behind the back, bend the left elbow. Maybe the fingertips meet. If they don't, please do not force it. You can grab a hold of your clothes. If you have a towel, or if you want to grab your strap, you can. Or the fingers just don't have to meet. The hands come behind the back. Sink a little bit deeper into your right knee. And then inhale, reverse it. Opening the right ribs. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, bring your right elbow all the way down to your right thigh. Keep your left arm behind your back. You can bring the hand further towards the hips. Roll the left shoulder open. Follow the drishti or the gaze upward. Reconnect to your breath. One more full breath cycle. Then inhale, bring the left arm overhead. Exhale, windmill it all the way down. Both hands come inside the right foot. Unplug the left heel and walk your right foot towards the edge of your mat. Lower your left knee down and untuck the toes. We're going to stay for a little bit in this lizard lunge. If you have a block or a prop, you can bring it underneath the elbows to give your torso a little bit of height. You're also welcome to use your strap and take this into a twist. If you're taking it into a twist, make sure your right foot is nice and wide towards the edge of the mat. Stay grounded on your left hand. Reach back with your right hand towards the left leg. You might need to lasso the strap as you bend the left knee and reach back for the strap or the pinky edge of your foot. You could also play with the variation of rolling to the pinky edge of your right foot and notice how that changes the sensation in your inner thigh and inner hip. And if you have a bent left knee, carefully release the left foot down. Bring your right hand back to your mat. Curl the left toes underneath you. Lift the left hip up and step back, downward facing dog. Again, yogi's choice. If you'd like to move through a vinyasa flow, you are always welcome. You're also welcome to skip it. Let's take a deep breath in together through the nose and out the nose. Second side. Inhale, raise your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, sweep it through between the hands. Spin the right heel down for warrior two stance and windmill the arms open. Take a moment, ground down through the feet. Press into the pinky edge of the right foot as you lift the inner arch. And make sure that your left knee is tracking over the second and third toe rather than the big toe. Inner thighs are hugging together. Arms outstretched in opposite directions. Left arm comes overhead. Internally rotate, turning the palm back. Give yourself a little pat on the back for all your effort in practice today. Internally rotate the right arm, thumb turning down. Bring it down and back. Bend the right elbow. See how far you can walk the right hand up the back. Again, fingers do not have to meet. And then just taking another moment, settling back into your stance. Finding your breath. Slowing the heart rate down. And then let's reverse it. Little arc back. Keep the depth into your left knee. Move the gaze up. Try not to crunch into the right waist, but find space there. One more full inhale. Exhale, bring the torso forward, left elbow to left thigh. Right hand stays behind the back. Just walk the hand further towards the hips so there isn't as much tension in the shoulder head. Then roll the right ribs open, open the heart. On an inhale, release the bind, bring the right arm overhead. Exhale, lower it all the way down. Both hands come inside of the left foot. Toe heel the left foot to the edge of the mat. You're on the ball of the right foot, and then you'll set the right knee down. So to stay balanced in the body, take the same variation you did on the first side, either staying in the lizard lunge without the twist, option to lower to the forearms, maybe coming onto a prop, or slowly making that sure your left foot is really far out towards the edge of the mat. Ground down through the right hand, reach back with the left arm into an open twist. And if you'd like, you can use the strap once more. Bending into your right knee, reaching back for the pinky edge side of the foot or your strap. Option to take that variation with the left foot, rolling to the pinky edge side, lifting the inner arch. Let's take 2 more really deep, full breaths. And gently release the right leg down. Bring the left hand back to the mat. Lift the hips a bit. Curl the right toes underneath you. Lift the right hip. Step back, downward dog, or take your last vinyasa if you'd like. Yogi's choice. Meeting a downward facing dog. Take 1 steady breath. And then child's pose. Lower the shins, big toes connect. Sink the hips all the way back to the heels. Walk the hands forward. Rest the forehead on the mat. And close your eyes. In the book, The Untethered Soul, Michael Singer refers to the incessant monkey chatter, monkey mind, describing it like an obnoxious roommate that simply won't shut up, right? And that's kind of the way it is. The mind, it really never stops unless we can find those moments of meditation, of being purely present, that those thoughts subside. And again, that is the practice of yoga, right? In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, it's called Chitta Vritti Nodara. Again, yoga is stilling the fluctuations of the mind to achieve that divine oneness. May we accept that we will forever live with our roommate until our dying day, right? So may we listen to our roommate, hearing our roommate's opinions, narrations, beliefs, memories, and experiences. But may we choose how we react to all that our roommate has to say, and recognize that our roommate is not us, is not ourself. Slowly begin to lift your hips up, coming into tabletop. Curl the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. And you'll start to walk your feet forward to the outside of your hands. Toes turn out, heels in, Sukhasana, garland pose. So you'll bend the knees, sink the hips low. Our peak pose for practice today is Bird of Paradise. That is a pretty big pose We are nice and warm in the hips and in the chest and shoulders, so there's many layers to this posture. I'll walk you through it, and you by no means have to go to the final layer or expression. So just take it one step at a time with me. Hands to the heart first. Elbows press against the inner knees. Collarbones are broad. So first step, right fingertips come outside of the right toes. Left arm reaches high. Next step, if you're going there, internally rotate the left arm, turning the palm back. Bring the left arm behind the back. So we took this kind of half bind variation in our warrior two, an extended side. All right, next step from here, if you're moving towards it, is to lift the hips a bit so that you can bring your right arm underneath your right hip and bind your fingers together, or you're using your strap or prop that you have nearby. Finding a connection of the arms, and keep lifting the hips and toe heel your left foot towards the center of your mat. Your toes are in front of your heel. Keep shifting the weight into your left foot as you walk your right foot in closer. Your left foot is your foundation. Keep rooting there. If you're moving with me, start to hover the right foot and you begin to rise up. Standing. Looking down or at a point in front of you, something fixed that isn't moving. Next step from here is to begin to extend the right leg. Spreading the toes, lifting the heart. You might still be in layer one of Malasana, totally cool, enjoy it. Breathe into it wherever you are. If you're with me in Bird of Paradise, start to re-bend the right knee, carefully lower the right foot down. Go back into a wider stance with the feet. Hips come low and release the bind back to Malasana. All right, all meeting back with the hands together in prayer. Big breath in and breath out. Second side. Left fingertips reach out in front of the left toes, extending the arm, making sure it's inside of the left leg. Right arm opens up. Internally rotate the right arm, bring it behind the back. Open the right shoulder up. Stay here or lift the hips a bit. Bring the left arm underneath the left thigh. Find the connection of the fingers or using the strap. Start to walk your right foot mid-mat, toes in front of heel, and you'll shift the weight into your right foot, bringing the left foot in a little bit closer. Start to shift the weight into the right foot, hovering the left foot slowly. Soft bend to the right knee if you're starting to stand. Take your time. Find your balance. Be patient with yourself. Notice if your roommate is speaking up. Simply notice, without attachment, without criticism. Maybe extending the left leg. One more breath wherever you are. And if you're in bird, slowly re-bend the left knee. Take your time bending the right knee, lowering the foot. Open a little bit wider with the feet and release the bind. Back to Malasana, full breath in. Hands together at prayer and breath out. From here, lower fingertips, lift the hips. Turn the toes in so that the feet are parallel. And keep toe heeling the feet together. Bend the knees, come into a ball pose. Rounding the spine, chin to chest. Take a seat. Feet come forward, scooch towards the top of the mat, extend the arms forward. If you like to have a block, if you have it for bridge pose, have it nearby for a supported bridge. Keep the core engaged as you slowly recline onto your back. Release the arms beside you. And it'll be a bridge or restorative bridge if you have a prop. Even a bolster or a pillow works underneath the sacrum. So you'll walk the feet in towards the buttocks. Lift the hips. And you can either stay with the hips lifted, a more active bridge, rooting down through the triceps and shoulder blades, or slide the block at whatever height feels good in your spine, pelvis, right under the sacrum. And then just finding a moment of ease as you turn the palms open and close the eyes. If you're in an active, engaged bridge, lower down at any time that you feel you've had enough. And if you do come down, just let the feet go wider and the inner knees knock together. You're welcome to bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Witnessing our thoughts is a regular daily practice. And the more that we recognize that we have these thoughts, they are our own, but they do not define who we are. The more we realize we do not have to react to them, right? Just because I'm feeling or thinking that I'm anxious doesn't mean that I am anxious. It just means I'm experiencing the symptoms of anxiety, not that I am anxiety. We do not have to compensate our thoughts and feelings and beliefs, because if we can recognize that we're just having those thoughts and those feelings that do not harm us, then there's no need to react to them. If we have this awareness, we can exercise choice, not from the pressures of our thoughts and our feelings, but because we are aware of what we value in life. If you're in supported bridge, lower the arms, slowly lift the hips, and slide the block out from underneath you if it was there. Lower down slowly, one vertebra at a time. Knees come into the chest for one final embrace. Uttanasana, meeting yourself with acceptance, love, and compassion. Extend your legs out in front of you. Open your arms out wide. Shavasana. Let go of any muscular contraction or engagement. Let your fingers and toes be soft. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Invite some movement into your hands and your feet, into your wrists and your ankles, your face, opening your mouth. A little movement into the neck as you sway the head right and left. And then find a full body stretch, arms overhead, extend the legs forward, take a rich breath in. Exhale, hug one knee in and then the other, and roll off to your right side, fetal pose. Pausing for a moment in this symbolic shape of rebirth and renewal. Keeping the eyes closed, please press yourself up gently into a seat. We've come full circle, and now we close practice where we began, seated in Sukhasana. Hands come together at prayer, heart center. Take a moment to acknowledge the shift, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically, from the start of practice to now. Notice if there are more clouds in your sky or fewer. And may we recognize and honor that we have the inherent tools to disperse those clouds, to remember our true self, our true nature, that is the expansive sky. Every day it is a practice. May we show up for ourselves and for the people in our lives and be open and willing to do the work, to look within. Lift thumbs to third eye, please. Tilt the head back. Take a full inhale, full of gratitude. Exhale, bowing forward and honoring this time and this practice together. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining me on your mat and taking care of you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so that you see the new content when it arrives. If you have any feedback or questions or suggestions for future classes, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Until the next time, be well, take care of you. Bye, yogis.